Well, hello everybody. I'll give it that minute to let people log on. Big announcement today, and I told everybody tune in. It's way past the time, but them's the breaks. I know people will be upset, but you know what? I'm pretty lucky. I got obviously a big brother, big sister out there that wants to see me go forward, because get a load of this, everybody. IQ jumped more than 386 people. Got my Pfizer shot booster. Got notified yesterday, come in. We're going to give you your Pfizer after my video. I got notified yesterday about 8:30 p.m. I wanted to disclose and share, but I just wanted to make sure I was going to get it. So I made the Pfizer protocol 1 day to spare before my 6-month due date up. I got it. I know some people are going to say I cheated the system, or I look at it, yes, I hopscotched people. I don't have any stroke for that. Obviously somebody does, and somebody made that happen for me. I did contact Pfizer. I let them know, as you all know. I quickly got an appointment. No, nothing. They called me, reached out to me, gave me a whole list of times I took it at only one possible location in Hamilton. I got it. I didn't have to go on the waiting list. I hopped over everybody. So obviously somebody out there with a lot more stroke than me made that happen. I'm grateful for that. I made the protocol. I'm back on with Russia and USA, and of course, because of that, I've kept up with Pfizer protocol now. I'm going to be able to do what I want to do with Russia. So this year it'll be going to New York, and then it's off to Russia, and I'm going to attempt to get the regional constitutions, all 85 in English. In exchange, I will take Omicron and Delta, whether Omicron is spread through the populations or not, but I will do that, taking the Sputnik. That's the deal I'll make with their leading manufacturer. That's what I'm going to do. So it's on. I made my protocol. I'm not screwed. So it's huge for me and huge going forward. I'd kind of lost hope there. I thought Trudeau won, and I would be off the Pfizer protocol, and what need would Russia have for me? But now I got that Western body up to date, and I stayed true, literally right to the day, to the Pfizer protocol, which is very important for Russia and what they want to do with Sputnik. So let's hope I get the shot, it goes through. Now, as for endemic, here it is, everybody. So if you're up to date with your shots, Omicron's ripping through. Most people are experiencing mild symptoms, and large percentages of that, those vaccinated. Very few cases of long COVID. We're still out on Delta, whatever, but it's minor numbers. Right now, you can look at Alberta, Ontario, all the provinces as they're surging from infection. What's not surging is overwhelming ICU and hospitalizations. I mean, they're high, but people are going home, and of course, people are scared. Why are they scared? I believe in large part the government's made people afraid. I'm at work every day with people, just as stated by CDC. Large swaths of the population, it's mild symptoms. It's cold-like symptoms. Work with a guy, he's basically got a head cold. Came back at the end of his 5 days. He's recovering from a head cold. COVID positive. That's a whole pile of people, by the way. And I know I'm waiting for my turn. I still haven't contracted COVID, and I don't know whether I will for Omicron or not. I don't know. But I got my third boost anyway. Now I can order in from USA. I can get my antibody test for all of you. It's a 14-day window here, so I'm contacting that organization, which is a respectable microbiology, immune. They do all of it. They do all of it, virology, everything, and they give those tests. So I can only get that in the United States of America. We're going to publish my blood works live for all of you, seeing what the booster shot's done for me, where I sit, how my numbers rank up against COVID-19 now. And it's perfect because it's right in line with the Pfizer protocol. So that's all I want to do. It'll give me an idea, but regardless of my numbers, I'm still going to attempt the Russia and the deal to make with their top pharmaceutical CEO. I'm going to try that. It's been published by Dmitry Belansky. I had Russia Promo, it's called, and in translation, it's basically Russia's group that does all their big media events and everything else. So they asked, they reached out to me, do I want to try and make it a media event? Sure I do, but first, baby steps. I want to get that antibody test. I want you all to see that, and then I'm going to pursue that with Russia. And my deal will be all 85 regional constitutions in English. I will bring that back, translated by Russians, according to Russia's dictionary to English, and I will bring that back for all Americans and Canadians. Over 28 institutions in the USA, high academics, doctorates, and I will bring it to 2 that I trust here in Canada. Only 2, and that's all that I'm going to do. But it's huge, it's monumental. Let's hope everything works out. I got it in. I thank whoever made that happen for me. Somebody with a lot more stroke than I have. I didn't bully my way into this. I certainly don't have the money to pay into getting jumped up on the list. I know there's going to be people screaming about this, that I had done some kind of wrong, or I jumped a list. I don't know why that happened for me. And I can tell you, at that one pharmacy that has Pfizer, it was lined up out the door. I know when I put in, they said it's many people ahead of you. It'll be an extremely long waiting list. Bing, bang, boom, I published the video, and all of a sudden, within hours, literally, I've hopped the list, invited to come in, pick a time. That's the truth. Happened at 8:30 last night. Didn't have to go through any process, nothing. Walk in, ready for me today. And I mean, it was packed. It was packed, standing room only. So that's what it is now, trying to get a Pfizer shot right now in Ontario. I hopped the list, I made my protocol, and I'm happy with that. So, endemic, ladies and gentlemen, with everything we know now, if you're boosted, why are we wearing masks? Why are we doing isolation? Why are we doing all these things? It's time to look hard at those who are immune compromised and shift focus. That's what we have to do as a nation. It's what USA is doing right now. Now, are there dense regions of the United States right now, extremely dense, that makes the GTA look like a joke? Yes, that's true. But you know what? They're still not shutting down businesses. No small businesses are shut down. Do they recommend masking? Yes. Are there indoor places, health and acute care, where you have to wear a mask? Yes. And that's likely going to continue. And to put it in perspective, anyone who's ever had a baby, okay? I remember the birth of both of my daughters. I was there for both of them. I remember those days clearly, extremely vividly in my mind. I can remember it colorfully. I'll never forget it. And for all of you who had that privilege too of the birth of your children, you wore a medical mask. I know in Alberta, you wore a medical mask, you wore gowns. Why is that? A baby's immune system is extremely brand new and extremely weak because it has zero experience. That's reality. So Pfizer doesn't recommend any boosters because they're adult shots. They don't recommend vaccines for those pregnant or those breastfeeding. That's the truth. All of the manufacturers say that. They're not ready for any of that. They've never been ready. There's no care for that. Now, are there other vaccines babies get at time intervals in their life, in the first year of their life? Yes, there's many. There's many, and it's been around since my time. You can go look at all the pneumonia shots through bacterial infections that little babies can get. It's called infant crib syndrome. My oldest would-be sister passed away in the early 70s. She was just an infant, a baby girl. My parents were out in rural Peace River, my mom and dad, farming way out in the sticks in Peace River, Alberta. My dad couldn't bring her back. She died of infant death syndrome. This is why shots are important, but there's specific shots for specific things for children and babies. That's true. And yes, it's been in the works since a long time in our history. Almost 100 years, some shots. But guess what? COVID-19 is not one of them. It's not. And no one's developed it yet. And so far, it's been 2 years. It's still not there. Canadian government officials and health authorities telling women, go get shots, protect yourself for the stress of pregnancy. That may be true, and that's true, you get COVID, maybe you'll miscarry. That's possible, but you know what? That's when you have to have protections in place, your husband in place, and nothing's perfect, nothing ever is. But if you choose to have a baby right now, rethink having adult shots, adult boosters while you're pregnant. Those shots are not designed for little babies inside wombs. They're not. They're not. The umbilical cord is shared with that baby. Whatever shot the mother takes, that baby takes. And we're talking a small little acorn-sized baby up to maybe 5-6 pounds at different intervals of pregnancy. Not ready for a shot, not an adult shot. It wasn't designed for an itty-bitty little baby developing in a womb. That's the truth. And people can say what they want, but the manufacturers tell you this. So people planning pregnancy or women who have a baby and then you get a shot, if you're breastfeeding, not a good idea. If you're going to forego those antigens that come from breastfeeding, then go get the shot, I guess. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. It's all your choice, but it's kind of like a pro-life choice or not. Pro-choice or pro-life. It's one of those things. You govern yourself accordingly, but just be prepared. There could be complications in the near future for your baby kids. That's the truth. Growing up, they can develop all kinds of other issues that nobody knows yet, because there's no clinical trials or testing on that. There's none. The manufacturers aren't there yet. They've only got 5 to 12 years old. So this is all I'm sharing. Government can be mad, but the Canadian government chose to tell you in their divinity, the health services, and this is provincially, everybody, provincially, healthcare is provincially. Provincial governments told you this, appointed officials through Premier and the Health Ministry, Minister of Health, an elected MP who may or may not even be a doctor in a lot of these provinces, and they're making these decisions against manufacturer recommendations. It's an endemic, ladies and gentlemen. It looks as though Omicron promises to be an endemic, meaning you get your boosters up to date, all the new viral drugs coming out, even by Pfizer, Moderna, and others. Pfizer's leading. They have a pill coming in March. They have a new shot coming in March. Should be approved for Canada probably by June, maybe possibly July. But regardless, keep your boosters up to date if you want to travel, if you want to have a regular life. And we got to start looking at businesses must be fully opened. You shouldn't be wearing a mask and you shouldn't be isolating, social distancing, unless you become sick and you show signs of being sick. Should that happen, get tested. If you're positive, you isolate for 5 days. That's it, back to work. I've already seen it in my Crown corporation that I work under. And guess what? Employees come back after 5 days. still sick with a head cold or sore throat, as long as they haven't gotten worse, you come back. And that's reality. That's where we have to go as a society. We can't let our governments get away with massive lockdowns, massive isolations. Those who chose not to get vaccine, you made your choice. That's what you want to do, but the rest of us shouldn't suffer for it. That's reality. The rest of us must move on. Businesses must be fully open, just as they are in the United States of America. They're not shutting down businesses. They're not restricting occupancy. I'll tell you another thing too. The province of New Brunswick rolled out about grocery stores and dining and all this and that. And they said, well, places of grocery where you have Tim Hortons or anything else, oh, you can go in there and use all that, but they're saying dining, distancing, and masking. Why? Because of the unvaccinated and the immune compromised. I understand immune compromised, but the reality is it should be a handicap sticker. Now, for unvaccinated by personal choice, that's your choice. You suffer the consequences, and maybe if you end up in hospital, maybe that means you need to pay a premium for that. You end up in ICU, you've got to pay the premium for that. And the government, maybe it's time for triage in that situation. Divert those who chose to do that. You go to a triage situation. That's what our military should be used for, as limited and pathetic as it is. And if there's not enough, there's not enough. But shutting down the economy, destroying the social fabric of our society under social, economic, and political binding world laws. Hear me out, everybody. Binding world laws. USA agreed to this, bound it absolutely for every nation. So did Canada, by the way. But when the P5 ratified it, Russia ratified it, when social, economic, and political is broken under that law, and Canada breaks it. Right now, you could say Canada's breaching it under their health system. We're rolling out vaccines. People, keep up to date with your boosters. You don't, you suffer the consequences in breach of international law. You want to be NWO, you want to be UN agenda under the Commonwealth of the United Kingdom's royal family, you go for it. Politicians signed on to it. They say, oh, we'll just do whatever UK says. Well, we're our own country. We're a UN state, and we bound laws to those 5 binding allies, and we don't have any right as a society or any government to breach the allies. You just don't. And that's international law and how it really works. Canada quit the ICJ, International Court of Justice. All these tribunals, people say Amnesty International, and on and on and on. I can tell you, as I went there with Ian Bjorkman, we went to the office of Amnesty International right there in Ottawa. It's one little hallway, one office. It was closed for COVID. One desk, one person. Amnesty International has many offices all over the US and everywhere else in the UN. Canada has one because, again, we quit the ICJ. We haven't been in the ICJ or bound to that international court system since 1993. You can look it up. Jean Chrétien quit it. He quit it. The Liberal Party of Canada quit the UN in international binding world law. We quit it. We crafted our own. We are in violation. We are NWO. We are those UN states everybody talks about. Canada leads. Why did we do that in 1993? Because the P5, the permanent UNSC, the allies of World War II, who bound all international law, the International Court of Justice, the real one. Canada made a carbon copy called the ICJ, but it's the International Commission of Jurists. Just like we have Amnesty International Canada, we added a C on the end of it, a fake one. You will find, everybody, all the tribunals, everything. We don't get Nuremberg Code. We don't get any of it. We are a Nazi regime. Whether you elect Conservatives, NDP, Liberal, Green, PPC, Maverick, Bloc, it doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. You are rogue NWO. You are not bound in any real international binding law in jurisdiction of courts. There's none. Canada quit it because we are a Nazi regime. Whomever you elect, it doesn't matter. They all run the same. They're all corrupt. This was orchestrated by Brian Mulroney in 1985 with the initial fall of South Africa, built exactly like Canada. Exactly, because it copied Canada's Constitutional Act. They even had the Constitutional Act of South Africa. Copied, everybody. Copied from Canada. They wanted the old UK customary laws. Outlawed after the fall of the League of Nations. Nobody got rid of it. Everyone copied it. Everyone who has it copied it. Some got caught. Germany got caught, as you know, World War II. They got decimated. They got constitutionally dismembered. They had all of it removed, all crown removed. Chancellor can no longer operate as our Governor General can. The President of Germany can't operate like Prime Minister of Canada can. All regional governors can't operate like premiers can. Understand, everybody? South Africa ran this way. They got destroyed in 1984. All the Allies went on them. They dismembered and destroyed them. They removed all political parties. So NDP, Liberals, Conservatives, as they're named in South Africa, post-1984, by 1993, they wiped out all the parties after a lengthy investigation that lasted 9 years. They wiped all the political parties out. They dismembered the Constitution. They null and voided the election and removed the parties in power. That's what the Allies did. They've done this all over the world. You don't hear about it in Canada because quickly Brian Mulroney at the time forged ahead and quit the ICJ, quitting all international binding law in legality for court systems, meaning Canada refused international law. Said we quit that part of the UN. We're going rogue in the UN like other autocracies, other dictatorships. That's what happened. He got beat by Jean Chrétien, and then we watched South Africa decimated in 1993. The first thing Jean Chrétien did was absolutely write a letter and quit the ICJ forevermore. And no prime minister has ever brought us back. All the lies they talk about in the UN, Canada can never, you hear me everybody, Canada can never get a United Nations Security Council seat. We have no authority, none whatsoever in international law, and we are forever banned from ever being in the United Nations Security Council. Canada will never go back there. We've been kicked out and will never go back. Justin Trudeau can't bring us back. Aaron O'Toole can't bring us back. Jagmeet Singh can't bring us back. The world hates Canada in a large margin. We have no stroke, no power. What Canada did following that, both Conservatives, Liberals, voted forward by NDP every time, Bloc every time, Green Party every time. Any elected MP, no matter what party, did this every time. They're all corrupt Canadians. They are all absolutely against you and all for themselves. The crown, the power of the first class to rape, pillage, plunder, and even murder you should they wish. There is no laws to stop them. There's international binding law to stop them, but good luck getting a Canadian lawyer to take it forward. Good luck getting a Canadian judge to take it forward. They're sworn not to. They're sworn to obey the first class, and even through common law, again I'm going to say it, through the law of precedent, a judge will rule on whatever the government official tells them to. That's the end of the story. If the Prime Minister chooses, he or she or whomever that is, through Governor General, just like Nazi Germany, because it's the first Nazi-style Germany, the oldest one in the entire world, alive and well today. A very sneaky one has had since 1867 to craft and master their sneaky Nazism. And they get away with it because they keep up to date. They sneak under the radar. They never go over their genocide numbers. They never go too far. They stay on a line, but they still continue. They still continue to do that. This is why I'm going to the States. I am fortunate somebody with a lot of stroke made sure I made my Pfizer protocol. I will get to Russia. I will get to the United States. I will get the job done. Everybody share the video. Canada should be going into an endemic, not a continuation of pandemic. It's a scam. Look at the United States of America. Thank you, and read international binding law. Law that Canada has signed and agreed to, but breaches every day in their life, and there is no way to take them to account because there's not a lawyer or justice in this country who will do it. They're sworn not to. Thanks, everybody. It's a corrupt Nazi system, oldest one in the entire world, alive and well today. Bye now. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Thanks. Bye now.